Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Between the Hunt, the #1 Hunt Showdown podcast, and probably the only Hunt Showdown podcast on YouTube. I have very little competition. I love it. I am joined today by three wonderful hunters for the second time. But let me give you a rundown. All right.
Oh boy!
All right. We were 2 hours into a recording yesterday. I was within 5 minutes of wrapping up, I was about to end the podcast, and somebody struck a pole on my fucking street, and we lost power for 5 seconds. Bam! All the footage corrupted. Gone. So here we are, a day later. We're recuperated. One of us is fresh off a day at work. I've been working on videos. We're tired. It's a variance of 8 hours between all our time zones. But here we are for the second recording of this episode because we want to give this to you guys so badly. So if you could take a moment to go hit the like button to save my mental state, God. I'm gonna shill because we've earned it. But that'll be all the shilling for me for now. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, the name you want to go by, your hours in Hunt Showdown, your average/current MMR. And if you want to say anything else, I'm not going to stop you. Left to right at our podium, please indulge me.
Hello, my name is Alex Yeen, or as everybody calls me, Alex. I have 445 hours in the game, and my average or current MMR is 3-star, sometimes 2-star because I can get that unlucky. God help me.
What's up, everyone? My name is Cash Dispenser. Everybody usually calls me Cash. I have about 713 hours in Hunt Showdown, and I am sadly permalocked at 3-star despite having that many hours. I don't know how to fix it, and I don't think I want to, because the higher you go, the harder the game gets and less enjoyable it is.
Based.
Hello, my name is Plate or Tyler, whatever you go by, and no, you cannot eat off of me. That is disgusting. I have about 220 hours in the game. I am MMR 4, which in console is MMR 2 apparently, and what else? Oh, I think that was it. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm from console. That's why I made that joke. And I'm the only one that is in console here. So
yeah, we are blessed to be joined by a PlayStation, right? A PlayStation player today.
Yeah.
Your fallen brethren on the PS4, lost but not forgotten when we came to Hunt 2.0. Pour one out.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I have a PS5 ready.
Oh, pour one out. So, there's a lot of things going on in Hunt right now. Obviously, if you are in the community, you're well aware of this. If you're not in the community, well, you came to the right place. There's not only the next event, the Garden of the Witch, coming out on March 26th. Be here or be square, by the way. We're going to be streaming that all day here, and if you're a viewer, you have the chance to play with me as well if you'd like. If you want to play with a cripple who you have to carry and is bad at the game, you can play with a horse on Hunter's Lodge. Just be here or be square. Join the Discord and the link below. But
if you're from console, you're very lucky not to play with him.
Oh God! Why are you so mean?
He's gotta drop the bomb.
I have a doctor's note.
I'm kidding, man. I wish I could play with your horse.
Look,
but,
I have a doctor's note for being bad at Hunt. I unironically, I am bad due to medical condition. I'm bad at shooters. My hands don't work well. But I don't need hands to talk on this podcast. There's also, along with the Garden of the Witch update, which is the newest event coming, we have an actual secondary gameplay update that we have a full-on list for coming with that. There's some controversial changes that we'll talk about later, some of which, I say controversial, I might be the only person upset about, or one of like 5 people upset about one of the biggest changes in the entire game. But beyond the one line of text that is causing so much discussion on Reddit and the Steam forums, there is a lot of stuff in this update we can talk about. There's actually so much information that is getting completely blown over because of a single line of text towards the end of this list. But we are going to do the list of the decency of starting all the way at the top, as it is intended. Starting with equipment balances. The Krag is going to have a slightly reduced ammo capacity from 12 to 10, and the cost is going to increase. Hopefully, this will encourage more of an arsenal variety in games. And the Berthier and the Mosin Obres are going to be... Wait, what? These changes go hand in the rebalance of the... Oh, those got rebalanced before. The whole goal they have is to make long ammo just more varied, because there's a ton of long ammo weapons, but you only see the same 2 goddamn guns in every lobby. So they're slowly nerfing specific forerunners for the entire long ammo category, like the Krag. If you guys have played Hunt in a while, you know the Silenced Krag is a menace to society, especially if you're playing Bounty Clash. But how do you guys feel about these Krag nerfs? I don't think they're gonna fucking change much.
If I may begin.
Please.
I just want to see less Krag, honestly.
Based.
I just want to see less Krag. I can't remember the last time I played a match and haven't seen a Krag. Well, anywhere, honestly, let alone in Bounty Clash. And I can remember that one time I had to, win a fucking match, and there was like 8 people using the fucking Krag silenced with silenced ammo, or what is it called?
Subsonic.
Yeah, subsonic. Dude, I just want to see less Krag, man. So seeing it go up in price, great. Seeing it gets like 2 less bullets, not so great, because that's just not a big enough difference. But
Right.
yay, changes for the Krag. Please, I don't want to see it anymore. That's all I'm gonna say.
Waiter, please. More nerfs for my Krag.
No, please.
Please! You know what? More nerfs to the uppercut! More nerfs!
No.
Hey, it's funny
We
you
need
say
more-
that. They're actually buffing the uppercut, guys, for the first time probably ever.
Oh
Yeah.
my lord.
Yes, I'll go next with the Krag.
Please, go ahead.
To me, I love how the Krag plays. That's one thing. I love the weapon entirely. It has, good sniping potential, good ammo variety, and all that. But I think the sniper made this nerf happen because the silencer was a bit too much, in my opinion. Probably for most reasons. Because usually rifles like this, like back then, I don't think they had silencers. So I feel
can
like
attest
just
to that they do not.
yeah. So yeah, to take that, Crytek, you're historically inaccurate, bit.
Oh my lord.
But so yeah, because of that, I think the silencers of Krag just felt kind of weird. So the nerf, it does hurt me as a Krag enjoyer, but at the same time, I also understand why it happened. So I'm like mad, but yet not mad at the same time.
Mr. Cash, you got any opinions on the Krag, my friend?
Oh, so you guys saved me for last this time. Okay, here we go.
Talk all
Mr.
you want,
Talkative.
Oh no. The tape is off.
For
We're listening.
context, the last attempt at this, I talked way too much, and now I'm being abnormally quiet. All right, the Krag. So, I have a love-hate relationship with it. I think it's an awesome gun. It's a very smooth bolt action. I think it's got a very sweet spot in Hunt right now. But now that they have definitely given it quite a bit of love, the capacity that it did have, and now having a silencer on it, it's very much a menace, and it gives nobody a reason to pick up any one of the other bolt actions. The only one that I could think that competes with it would be the Mosin, and the Mosin right now is very much not all that picked, unless you're wild man and you're grabbing an Avtomat and for whatever reason taking that into Clash. Yeah, no, I am with our boy Alex over here. I think I'm happy for the nerfs. I think the silencer nerf universally was a good move for most of the guns. Maybe not so much the smaller pistols, but the suppressor nerf for some of the rifles, the Krag, the Menard, it was needed. And is it gonna really matter on capacity nerfs on a Krag? No, because almost everybody I know brings an extra ammo box, and if you're in trios, that's 3 ammo boxes that are gonna make up for all those lost bullets. especially if you're running special ammo. Which anybody running subsonic, let's just bring an ammo box and hit every cart on the map while we're at it. Especially with an event coming up, there's going to be carts everywhere with a bunch of extra stuff on it. So Crag nerfs, yes. Did they not nerf it enough? I don't think they did. I don't think it needed a suppressor. I don't think it was a good move. Is it fun to use? Yes, but it absolutely did not need to be pushed as far as it did because it's making other guns obsolete. I mean, the Vetterli is struggling for survival right now. The Mosin doesn't seem to exist all that much, and here's hoping those nerfs will bring those guns back into existence.
Ooh, don't let our 6-star viewers hear you saying that the Mosin doesn't exist. They won't stop bitching about it.
Oh,
I am speaking from the
They
view
will come
of a
kill you, my
3-star.
friend. They will take your kneecaps as well.
Remember,
speaking from a
friends,
3-star
everybody
point of view.
in this podcast currently, normally, I have some 6-star guests today. Everybody is 4-star or lower, so that is a different perspective than you're used to. If anything we say completely, like, has you flabbergasted, bear in mind there's our perspective. One of us is console, and between all of us, we are all lower than 4-star or 4-star. So, I like the Krag. I really do. I love the gun. It feels good to shoot. It sounds great to shoot.
Agreed.
I see it way too much. That's my only gripe. I want
Everybody's carrying it.
either buff other weapons so that you're less encouraged to have to take a Krag, or nerf the Krag harder. I don't think this nerf is going to make a fucking lick of a difference, but on the bright side, there is another gun getting buffed, guys. For the first time probably ever, the uppercut is getting buffed. It's getting dropped to $310.
I never use it.
Real shit.
Anybody who saw the Hunt Showdown Jeopardy video, link in the description, check it out. Great video. The uppercut's the most nerfed weapon in Hunt Showdown, and it's finally getting a buff.
It's been long enough and overdue to see a buff for a pistol so dead in the water. It's like kicking a dead horse already. It's dead. Please, Crytek.
They finally gave it a chance and gave it water, and now they're going to continue to kick it next update.
No. Oh, dude, it's so great to see. Also, not just only the uppercut getting a buff in price, it was also the haymaker.
The Haymaker, yep. From 370 to 279, yep.
Which is nice.
That is a nice change.
And that is a good change, because I found I wanted to love that gun, but every time I bought it, I felt like I was spending too much and getting too little reward. I did not enjoy buying that gun. But now, 279, an oddly specific number, but it's not bad. That's not a bad rate.
It's not that bad. And you're essentially packing 30-06 into an 8-inch revolver. It's like, all right, whatever I hit within 30 meters is gonna be very hurt. They're not gonna like it. And if you get closer, we've got a shotgun barrel on it. It's the Lamat's big brother.
It's the straight upgrade.
It's a big upgrade. A lot of range. If I feel it would be oversauced, but if they did the same treatment to the Haymaker that they've done to the uppercut, where they gave it a stock, I feel like we'd be in trouble. It might be a problem. The
Honestly,
Haymaker precision.
Honestly, I like weapons that like have a rifle, but yet they also have like a part of a handgun at front. Like I love the Lamat rifle. It looks so cool.
I do too. I think I used the Lamat carbine very briefly, but the few times that I did do it, I was like, this is not that bad of a gun. It gives an extension to the shotgun barrel, which means that buckshot spread's actually probably going to hit what it's supposed to hit. That's not 10 feet out, 20 feet out, and instead of going, oh, the pepper's in the wall, we missed everything, this guy's about to gun me down with his own 12 gauge that just happens to be a Romero. Because everybody loves the Romero.
Romero Chad, stay winning.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Romero Alamo Chads stay winning, because that is the version I see the least of.
Look, I love spending 30 pesos on a Romero just to take out somebody with an Avmat. Okay, a shotgun's great. A shotgun's
it's satisfying. It is satisfying.
Very good, but you are now going to have a harder time with those dead bodies from your Romero because the bear traps are getting nerfed. It takes 3 bear traps to outright kill a hunter from full HP now. This is going to affect high MMR play more than low MMR play, I'll say, because if you've ever played with a 6-star player, like if you have a friend or anybody that you've played with, you'll know if you jump down off a ladder and you don't look down, you're landing on fucking bear traps and you're going to die. So you res your boy with Necro, they're gonna die to bear traps. You run into a boss layer, you hop a window, you're landing on bear traps. They're fucking everywhere. People bring him as a fucking tool. It's great. They really work. But now it takes 3 of them to take down a full health hunter, which is a great change. Have you guys dealt with bear traps a lot in your games, or?
Enough times to say that this nerf is maybe a bit much, but at the same time, I could also, from perspective, understand it. Maybe it is a bit also powerful when considering that only 1 slot. Oh, look, I get to kill man for very little effort because they didn't look down or have vigilant. So the nerf is a maybe, at least from my perspective as a person who uses bear traps and uses vigilant all the time. I think it's a bit much of a nerf, but then again, that's my perspective, and I feel like maybe I'm wrong to say that at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to me, I like the bear traps. They're a nice welcome because it's like having the bear traps at like mainly a compound. Like it feels limiting, but now we actually have them like in our pockets. Feels nice, and the nerf makes sense because the like 2 bear traps like pain in the ass because I remember in the scorching flame.
Scorched
It's what
I believe is
Scorched
what you're
Earth.
looking
Thank
for.
you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like the compound where you get like all the stuff in the middle, like where the main event area is. More motherfuckers put traps everywhere in that one compound. I died like 2 times in the same match because of like traps everywhere in that one single compound.
They were able to stuff them underwater so you couldn't see
Yeah,
them.
like you couldn't really see it.
I'm going to get a cash register. Here comes the bear trap. Next thing you know, you've wiped the whole lobby, but then you lose a health bar and have to lose an upgrade point because, hey, I stepped on a... Why is that here? And it's like, oh, yep, somebody walked through the bounty area. It's less of a problem now since that's not a hot zone, but there were people doing a crap load of traps around the carts, at least, or some of the zones... The bigger cart zones, I would say, during the murder circus. There would be alert mines around the tents. There would be concertina traps on just the basic carts, so you couldn't pact.
Yeah. The circus was chalked, bro. Oh my dude, I had one where I'm not shitting you. They had put bear traps inside the balloon game booth. So that people who'd hopped into the booth to save on bullets to get their balloon pops with a knife. Bear trap. Dead.
That is unfortunately nefarious. That is evil. That's like, I mean, I know who's probably thinking of that strategy, but that is.
I'm sorry. That probably was me. I'm sorry.
Look, you could say, "Hey, look down, asshole," but like when you look, if you're not in the 6-star mindset where you have 1,000 different stimuli being processed in your head at the same fucking time. You don't always look down. You're just not thinking about it. If you haven't been shot in a while, you're not on edge. You're chilling. You have a moment of reprieve where you're taking a breath, you're relaxed, and you walk into this thing to just stab some balloons and get some fucking event points. Oh, you're dead. See ya, nerd. Fucking. Ah!
Oh, God.
Yeah, I have... sorry. I have a story where I know I said it last time, before... disaster struck, but basically I was at a match with one of my friends and there was a solo and we didn't know if he was a solo or not. So what I did is that I placed all 4 of my bear traps on him because I thought it was funny. And next thing we know, we hear the death sound effect. I even have a picture, and God, it looks it was when Skulltaker came out, so it's like even funnier. Like using his own bear traps against him.
Exactly.
Literally.
Oh God.
Uh,
Hey, look, guys, that's me.
yeah, I did send it. If you guys want to look at it.
Oh right, yeah, we did. I'll put this clip on the screen for everybody, everybody watching. Or this
Alex, what are you
picture.
doing on the
Oh
floor? Get up, my boy.
Oh my God.
That's the bear traps, man. My feet are broken. I can't feel my feet.
Homie's
I felt
looking like
such an
Ursa
asshole to
Mortis.
putting
Holy
all
shit.
four.
Harry.
I felt like a piece of shit, but it was a 6-star lobby I was in with my friends, so I had to do it.
Homie's hitting the
Oh,
Family
that's
Guy
funny.
death pose.
Oh, by the way, Horace, just for everybody's entertainment as well, I also sent an image, which I sent before as well.
Oh right, yes.
Yeah,
I'm
the
so happy to
trap.
look at this for a second day in a row. This wonderful trap enthusiasts heaven, just filled with traps.
This is what's gonna be like after the bear traps nerf, man. It's gonna be the concertina of poison traps now.
We're going-
Concertina alert mines.
We're
Just
going
a whole
back in
handful of them.
time, baby, back in time.
Yeah. And hopefully no crash. Pray to God.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Anyways,
But we aren't done yet. Melee tools are going to do more damage to boss and wild targets, and there's going to be more in-world melee weapons spawning near boss target layers again. Anybody who's played against, fought into Scrapbeak grabbed everything. And you could get the stuff off of Scrapbeak by doing a quarter of his health. But still, it's going to be a little less annoying. You don't have to go to a weird wagon in the middle of fucking nowhere to get an axe. You can find one again, and it'll actually do significant damage. I never had a problem killing boss targets. I thought that they die too quickly anyways, so I don't know where this is coming from out of left field, but I guess I'm not one to judge. I don't know do you guys have any issues with killing bounty targets? I think it's easy.
I feel the
Boss, my
only
best friend.
The boss that really does take an extended period of time, and annoyingly so, it's the coward. Vincent is the most annoying boss that anyone has ever gone up against. And if anybody doesn't know who is the nickname Vincent's for, it's for assassin.
Well, that's
Because
his actual name. Yeah,
that's his actual name, so I'm actually correct. So Vincent, our boy, the man, the beetle god, he does not like to fight fair. So he's constantly in a beetle cloud, and he'll run around the walls, shoot harpoons at you, always make you bleed. So if you're not packing a regen shot, kiss a good chunk of your health or a med kit, goodbye. However, he's the only one that I seem to have a problem with. Everybody else, Butcher, Scrapbeak, heck, even I can kill Rotjaw faster than I can kill Vincent. And she's underwater half the time. So
and Vincent's cheatable. I said that you can cheese Vincent if you have
if
two
you
people
chuck
with
fire
melee
lanterns
weapons.
at him.
Not even that. If you have two people with melee weapons, and Vincent goes into that phase where he like surrounds himself with husks to try and defend himself, you can stun lock him in that by just heavy meleeing him on both sides with two melees. It's actually not that hard. You can do almost all of Vincent's health in one phase doing that, and that's always been cheesable. The problem with Vincent for me is that if there's even a single team nearby, you're now stuck in a compound with an asshole who will find anywhere you're hiding and stab you for half your health and bleed you, forcing you to fucking get out of that position while people are pushing you. And when you try to go kill him, he just zoop, zops, goes on the fucking roof and fucks off for 30 seconds. Vincent is the worst when there's other people nearby, and I find him very easy if there isn't anybody. So
he's a very difficult third-party boss. Like if you get a team sneaking up on you and you're fighting Vincent, any level of health that he's got you distracted.
Like, just kill me
it's
now.
like, all right. Yeah, it's like, all right, now I'm bleeding. You want to walk outside so he doesn't hit you again. And then, lo and behold, somebody's either standing outside there with a shotgun, or their team is posted up on the edge of the compound with long guns, and they're like, "Hey, he's over here, and he's bleeding! Oh, bang!" And next thing you know, you're on the death screen because you're like, "I just wanted to patch this bleeding because Vincent's an a-hole." But in doing so, you gave the enemy team that's out there an open shot without you even having a chance to fight back. Maybe that's where all my frustration lies with them.
I wanna add to that. because I find it funny. Everybody hates fighting Assassin. I'm probably the only one who finds Assassin the most fun to fight. And I think it's for only one reason, because I only run Bat as my secondary. So, for y'all,
so you
who are
get to
the
beat him
head
with, you
when
get
you
to hit
win.
him with the horny bat, dude. Fucking bonk,
You know,
bonk, bonk.
bro, you know the whole stun lock thing you were mentioning, Horse? So, with the Bat, you can do it as a single person. It's so much easier.
Yeah. If you just heavy melee the shit out of Vincent, you can get him to stand around a lot longer. It's just, if you have anybody else getting in your way, Vincent becomes a pain in the ass. But it'll be easier now because you do more melee damage for whatever reason.
It's just so, in my opinion, it's so weird. Why would they add more melee damage? I mean, okay.
Maybe the one-stars are having a hard time killing bounty targets. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they don't know the true friend of sticky dynamite. Ooh.
That was my whole intro to Hunt. When I first started killing bosses, I'm like, I gotta kill Scrapbeak as fast as possible. I didn't care about the loot that he was packing. I'm just like, I have 2 sticky bombs, a primary and a secondary. I'm gonna stick this boss, and we're just gonna get out of here as quickly as we can. That was my objective, and I ran it for a while. And then everybody's like, no, Scrapbeak's got loot on him. You don't blow him up. Don't set him on fire. I'm like, it's an ammo box and a shovel, and possibly some random perk that he can drop. If he drops a trait, cool. But I didn't see a problem for the longest time of just blowing him up.
I don't blame
Less
you.
chance to get hit by a concertina mine, because when he goes berserk, he just starts chucking stuff.
Yeah, Scrappy wastes a lot of time depending on the compound, because you'll get shoved into these hallways where there's no room to escape the concertina, and it just becomes a jerk fest back and forth of Scrapbeak being armored and tanky and throwing concertina everywhere. God forbid you get into one of those situations, because Scrapbeak sometimes, any boss can do this when they're in their rage state. They'll just stay in the rage state for way longer than they're fucking supposed to. And they'll just keep throwing concertina. It can be a bitch. But hey, you do more damage now. Pog. If anybody... Sound off in the comments if you had an issue killing any of the bounty targets, by the way. I would like to hear your experiences on that, because this patch was made for you. So...
one thing I'd like to add.
Yeah, go
ahead.
Fine.
I think we all enjoyed the one time where when we killed Butcher for the first time and we get slapped to him when he died.
Oh, don't even fucking...
Oh my god.
That did catch me off guard.
That is one of the fucking rituals for new players in Hunt. Everybody has the same experience of getting bonked by Butcher as he's dying for the first time. And I died the first time that happened to me. I died. It killed me. Yeah. I was there.
Well, he's also the only boss that does, like, hey, I'm angry now. If you touch me, you're going to get set on fire. And as we all know, fire damage is the only thing that permanently burns off your health bar, and you can't get it back unless you're packing one of those new shots. But fire is deadly, and Butcher is made of it. If you don't get out of his way, he will kill you.
Yeah, you can
and he runs fairly fast. You can choke bomb him, yes.
If you choke bomb him, you get like a 60 seconds of him not being able to light his hook on fire.
Yeah.
It's only 60 seconds?
It's a timer. I don't know the exact duration, but it's not permanent. He will eventually get fire back.
I did not know of that, actually. I thought it was permanent, because I've never seen him get it back on fire.
You probably kill him too fast.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he's disignited and not able to go rage mode, you probably just kill him. Like, the amount of people I've seen just like blast penny shot in his face, just like, you like that? You like that? I got a Derringer right here with your name on it, Butcher. You like that? Bang! And it's just third of health. Hey, look at that. We can vanish now, and everybody's got their health back.
Yippee!
We win.
He's also the most easiest because he has the same AI as the meathead.
I mean, he literally is a meathead. He's literally is a meathead. If you saw my
he's an infernal.
Video,
he's if Hellborn and a meathead got meshed together.
It's basically he's basically a meathead cousin.
Which means viewers, don't do the same thing with Butcher while going near him. Just don't. Just don't, man.
I guess we'll continue on. This is one of the biggest updates, and this is something that nobody's talking about because of another line we're going to read a little later. But pulling out projectiles from monsters and hunters will do meaningful damage. But Blade Mancer no longer deals pull-out damage when retrieving objects. You'll no longer get shot in the knee, no longer be an adventurer and get killed instantly when they tab E. You'll be fine. So everybody rejoice. Blade Mancer, which is a permanent, by the way. Wait, no, not permanent. No, it's not permanent. It's coming back though.
Yeah,
no,
it's coming back.
It's one
but
of the
it's
event
not permanent.
traits. It's one of the event traits.
It is a pack trait, yeah.
The one that are
let's see. Let's be honest. It'll be fucking permanent after this event. Now that it doesn't instantly kill you, it probably will be permanent.
The permanent ones right now are going to be Blast, Sense, and Poltergeist. Those are the other ones.
Poltergeist, my beloved.
I love Poltergeist. Blast Sense, you're useless. Eat the dirt. Look at that bitch.
What? I take offense to that. I love Blast Sense. How dare you?
Blast Sense Andes, sound off in the comments.
It's just very rare when you get to use it, though. It's a cool concept, but it's not very great in finding stuff, I would say.
I would say Pain Sense does a better job of sniffing out hunters than Blast Sense does, because if you're running any kind of... Well, the bow makes people bleed because it's launching arrows. The crossbow does the same. One of the few weapons, like if you're rocking a Springfield, which I know a lot of people love that Springfield because the Fast Fingers perk is a thing now, they can still pack Dum Dum into it. And if you have Pain Sense, if you tag somebody, maybe in the shoulder, with bleeding ammo, it's like, all right, let me use Dark Sight real quick while I'm in cover. You immediately know where that dude tried to run off to recover, and maybe you have the ability to rush him with a 12 gauge or just jump in with a baseball bat. I've been seeing people using the melee weapons a lot more as of late. Like, it's unexpected, but I mean, the samurai sword has its own perk. The baseball bat and the shovels, the sledgehammers, all the melee weapons benefit if you pick up Berserker, and so do the throwing knives. So, not a useless trait, and you're doing extra damage. You're guaranteeing yourself a Bomb Lance level damage one-shot kill on a simple melee weapon if you believe in your primary enough. And yeah, pack and bleed or burn. That pressures people. And they as soon as they start to panic, oof. You get slapped with 130. Oh, go ahead.
Listen, as far as it is, she'll bleed, poison, all that. Come on, run some FMJ and shoot some people for the walls. It's fun.
You are in love with FMJ.
Yes,
it is
I am.
FMJ lover.
I am an FMJ lover. I will die on the hill for loving FMJ. I know.
I see the purpose.
Bro, FMJ Andy, sound off in the comments.
Sorry.
Everything we say. Oh yeah. Say in the comment. Let's go.
Anybody in the comments sound off for this guy who wants to use FMJ?
It could not be me, dude. I'll be taking Dum Dum on everything that
tell
has
us your favorite cereal.
Oh my god.
All right. In the interest of not, well, bear in mind, everybody, if it seems like we're rushing through some things, it's because we kind of are, because we already had a 2-hour fucking discussion yesterday that God took away from us. But so we're gonna speed run some of the rest of this and talk about the bigger points that we want to make when they come to light. So they're reducing the duration of stamina and regen shots. I truly don't know why, and I just need to know how much they're being reduced to know if that's going to be an issue or not. If they're the same price and they're like a minute less, that's going to be fucking rough. Dark Dynamite satchels can now be picked up. Good. They should have always been able to be picked up, but now you can. The Veteran is given an improved rate of fire and ADS with the Iron Eye trait. And we move on to trait changes. We'll circle back to the big controversial thing in a bit, because we can actually talk about that again. I'm willing to. For trait changes, we have the Lightfoot trait no longer allowing for completely silent crouching from solo players. God bless you, solo players. I understand that you guys have a really hard time, but Crytek and the 6 stars hate you, so you're always going to be getting nerfed in some way. They're taking away your Lightfoot privileges. Go to your room, you're grounded. Surefoot will no longer have a faster crouch speed. It's going to be cost 6 upgrade points now. Fast Fingers, we could talk about this one because this one's an interesting one. Fast Fingers is getting added to the Martini Henry, good, based, and the Maynard Sniper, yuck. However, it's important to understand, because of the 2-action reload from the Maynard Sniper, it actually isn't giving you the same percentage increase of speed that Fast Fingers gives you on all the other reloads. It takes a little longer. So you are still getting the benefit of it being faster, but it's not going to be as fast as the other reloads will be. Okay, we'll talk about it. The Maynard, some people fucking love it. Some people fucking hate it. How do you guys feel about Fast Fingers getting added to the Maynard? I need to know.
I
don't use it.
I think it's a mistake. I don't think it needed it. It already hit so unbelievably hard, and I have, despite my complaints about the Krag, the Maynard is a sniper rifle, permanently a sniper rifle. It has dum-dum ammo in it. It's one of the many rifles that still has it. What few, I should say. And it has a silencer variant. Granted, the silencers did nerf the damage output, but you still have bleed. You have a silencer. You have a scope. Now you have Fast Fingers, which means, hey, we're going to be able to load this absolute cannon of a sniper rifle being only doing less than, I think it's a 4 damage difference between it and the Sparks. Sparks is large ammo. The Maynard is medium ammo. Why do those damage numbers not make any sense? It's like, it bugs me. Because as a gun nut, I'm thinking, oh, medium ammo, like a 30-30 in a lever action, being compared to, hey, this thing shoots 30-06. It's going to do a lot more damage. It makes no sense to me. 4 damage less or 5 damage less than the strongest rifle in the game, technically, as far as 149 damage. I think it's too strong. I do not think, 1, I don't think it needed a suppressor. 2, I don't think it needed Fast Fingers. If they wanted to keep the suppressor, fine. But I don't think it needs Fast Fingers and a suppressor and the fact that it's a sniper rifle. You may not use it, but man, oh man, if they're nerfing the Krag already, either the Mosin's going to get picked up because of its new variants, or the Menard's going to get used even more than it already does when it was dropped. Because it was already good when it was dropped. Now we shall see who's going to abuse it even more. I have strong feelings about it. What can I say?
I could tell.
Well, you hate the Krag. I hate the Menard because it's annoying.
You know what? I actually hate the Maynard as well.
Okay.
But I will say Maynard getting Fast Fingers is not going to really make that much of a change. However, I am concerned for the Martini Henry. Already has a very fast, as a single shot rifle, already has a fast reload on its base. I'm concerned what's going to mean for the iron side, actually. Because what if that's going to replace iron side for the Martini? That's my concern, at the least. Other than that, seeing that being added to those weapons, I think it's clear.
He's got a point, and the Martini Henry does do some very good damage as well. It does. Does it have a sniper variant? Feels like it has.
I think it does.
It has a Deadeye, and I think a Marksman. I don't remember.
I can check right now because I am on hunt as we speak, just in the shooting range.
Do it.
I will check right now as we talk.
He's checking damage numbers. Like, is what they're saying accurate? Let me check here with my.
Yeah. I am the professional hunt player.
Sherlock Holmesing every rifle we bring up. Like, hey, is it really that broken?
You know, I also meant to mention this earlier. The Maynard's cheap. It's very cheap compared to other guns, and you can get it for free on your free hunters. They added it to the free hunter rotation of weapons. You can get it every time.
It's crazy. Like, the cost effectiveness and how much utility it can do. It did not need Fast Fingers. It really didn't. It didn't need a silencer. It's cheap enough. It's free.
You know what they could have made? They could have made maybe an iron sight variant. That would be kind of cool, in my opinion.
I'd run it.
I would probably give it a shot. It's essentially a Sparks, but with a with a freaking percussion cap instead of just cartridge reload.
A Sparks with extra steps.
Basically, it would have been a Sparks with extra steps.
Yeah. Anyway, I am here. Okay. So for Martini, they do have a Deadeye and a Marksman. That's what they have.
Look, the Martini Henry needs a little buff here, bro. It needs some love. I'm happy that it's included in the fast fingers because I barely ever see the fucking weapon.
I agree. I haven't seen it. I see a couple of YouTubers. I saw Nino using it the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, it's a good gun." It's like, "Yeah, but you're also a 6-7 star YouTube hunt player, so yeah, anything you pick up, buddy. No disrespect to the guy; he's a nice dude, but anything you pick up, you're probably gonna pop off pretty good with it if you know what you're doing."
Yeah, fair. In my opinion, on the fast fingers, it's my turn now, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
I love talking stick.
I have the talking stick. This is mine. It's my talking stick.
One more thing.
Oh my god! I swear to God,
kidding.
buddy.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
That talking stick was yours, like for the entire time yesterday. No.
Oh my god.
But basically, fast fingers. I love the perk overall. Post having that idea and giving it to developers was amazing. That's one thing I'll say. Good. And it's just great because for one, single shot weapons are it kind of makes me feel anxious to shoot because for one, I'm shit at shooting. Okay, that's one thing. And having the extra ammo capacity is just nice. And having forward the Martini means that I can actually finally use it without feeling panic. But the Maynard, I do like that the 2 factory reload still is the same. It is nice to go in, but it's already good as it is. It doesn't need iron hand. Fast fingers. It doesn't need fast fingers, in my opinion. But it is nice.
Iron fingers. I gotcha.
Guys.
Yeah, it doesn't need iron fingers. I also have iron fingers. Yeah, it's very good.
I have a thought. Guys, I have a thought. I'm sorry for just hopping in.
I even have copper fingers.
There's one single shot weapon that doesn't have fast fingers that probably should. This is actually probably a joke at this point, what I'm about to say.
The Nitro Express. I don't know.
No.
Oh, no.
Is it the Romero?
Let me hold this gigantic bullet in between my fingers, clipping through the model of the weapon for fast fingers.
They could give him like an old school shotgun shell holder for the nitro bullets, but I mean, like it springs up out of it. It's like you shoot both barrels, and then you hear a ting, and you see the bullet, and he catches it and shoves it in. It's like, I'm ready to go.
No, you just pull out a single nitro bullet from behind your ear and slam it in there.
Yeah, it's like a pencil.
Is this your card?
Is this your card? He's a magic man.
Check under your foreskin.
That would be so funny. No, horse! No, horse! No!
It's no longer fast fingers. It's the trait magic man. You pull nitro out of your ear and it's like, hey, here we go. It's a 4-point perk that only works for the nitro. I mean, the samurai sword gets its own perk, so why not?
Imagine there was a trait where you can hold 3 weapons at once.
You just
get Gun Runner +1.
Please, no.
Yeah, it would just be called extra hands.
They don't give them ideas, bro.
Catch these hands is the perk.
Do not give Crytek ideas.
This is a negative $1 million idea.
Bro, I was gonna say, bro, don't go back to $1 million ideas, bro. If they watch that cast, they might watch this one. They might add extra hands.
Oh no!
Extra hands.
Crytek, don't listen to us. We're a bunch of lunatics. Don't listen to us.
We're losers, bro. Don't listen to us. All right.
Actually, there's one thing. Crytek, give the Romero fast fingers. Trust me, it's a great idea.
Ignore that.
It already has a variant.
Ignore that guy, but we'll continue. Let's make the Alamo useless. Let's continue. So Bolt Thrower will now work with the bomb lance and the bomb launcher. Poggies. It should have always done that. My friend Mo can shut the fuck up now, because that is finally in the game. Conduit. This is the one thing. You solo players, you get one bone. Crytek's throwing you a bone. It's this. Conduit will give you 2 stacks of clue progression if you take it as a solo. If you take a clue, you progress 2 clues, essentially. It's like 1 is 2. So enjoy it, and you also get double the duration of your stamina boost. So it's something, okay? You're losing the ability to be all sneaky beaky with your feet traits, but on the bright side, Conduit isn't useless for you now. You get a bonus, and take what you can get. They're throwing you a bone.
Combine it with Serpent for all I care. Combine it with Serpent. Now you got 50 meters of getting that double perk and your stamina boost. That's also doubled. Now you can sprint like a maniac with those 2 clues to the first nearest compound you think that the bounty's at and set up all your little traps.
And that's
Do I think it's broken? No. The last time we talked about this yesterday, I already said we have a tool to counter this. So giving the solo players a bone, because they're already kind of in hell because nobody in group play likes a solo player because they're just like, you're such an annoying rat. Well, yeah, they have to be. It's a 1v3 or a 1v2 or a 1v the rest of the lobby. You are the lone survivor. You need to absolutely have every edge you can think of. Giving them this isn't a bad idea. It's not. We have a tool. We have Poacher, or I think that's the perk, Poacher, to see those traps. I mean, we have an image in our Discord chat of seeing how many traps somebody can lay down. But hey, we can see them. So
It's called Vigilant, by the way.
Vigilant,
thank you. So if you're already bringing Vigilant, knowing there's a possibility of a solo player in the game, and you just kind of passively take it, Vigilant's not that expensive. It's 1 or 2 trait points. You're bringing that in there unironically. You're going to see probably that solo player that is using Conduit. He's using Conduit Serpent. He's doing it really fast. The solo player killed the boss in 2 minutes flat. Well, now the whole lobby knows where he is, and those that are running Vigilant are the last people that are going to go down. He's going to probably kill the ones that don't have it. Maybe. But there still is probably going to be a duo or a trio out there that's like, yeah, we know your traps are in there. Now we just need to wait for you to leave, and we're going to jump you. Or we're going to push you with shotguns, and you're going to die. Or frag arrows, or whatever else you want to sling into that compound to try and kill the rat. There's a rat in there. We now essentially we have the flamethrower to smoke him out. We just don't make enough use of it, I don't think.
So, the revive bolts. This is the most contentious thing in the entire list here, and the only thing anybody's talking about in any capacity in the hunt community. They're being removed from the game. Crytek has officially thrown up their hands. They are giving up on balancing revive bolts. They are straight up removing them from the game. It's the first time they have ever done this. Yesterday, in our first recording, I had like a 10-minute soapbox talking about my feelings on the revive bolt, but instead of doing that today, again, I'm going to let everybody else get a chance to speak here about it, and I'll just say a little bit of my piece and go from there, because I have another video coming out shortly. I might even put a preview here in this section of the video for you, but I have a video coming out shortly about my feelings on the revive bolts in full. So if anybody would like to speak up on how you feel about this, please jump in.
Here, I'll begin, just to get my thoughts out of the way first. I think that removing the bolts entirely from the game, okay, this is going to sound controversial, but I think it was a necessary change because, as obvious in the current state, not a lot of people are happy. A lot more people are outraged, and a lot of people were really not enjoying that they could just see people dying and rezzed all the time. And I'm going to state my reasons why I think removing it is better for the health of the game than keeping them. First off, it's players making bad decisions more often than not. I think that you having a utility that can bring you back to life immediately is really not the best thing in the world. I'm going to, again, not the greatest opinion in the world to say, but I don't think it should have been in the game in the first place. Simply because of that, I feel that it will make bad habits, make players make worse decisions, make players be more aggressive in situations they shouldn't be, and it would encourage players to, again, make reckless plays, which normally would cost them the entire match, but because of revive bolts, they can just keep going until they run out of chunks. Another thing, I hate that it made Necromancer almost obsolete. Well, it doesn't necessarily, because you can use Necromancer for walls, unlike, revive bolts, but still, the fact that it rivaled Necromancer to such a degree that it made a trait almost obsolete is kind of saddening. And it's why, again, we'll state that I think the removal of the bolts entirely was a completely valid call on Crytek's behalf. And besides that, knowing Crytek, and as you have stated yesterday, they were very hell-bent on, wanting to balance out a weapon, a tool, or anything. So this is a surprising thing they do, but at the same time, it's also not overly surprising considering that the entire community was up in flames about it. And I think for now, it being removed is probably the right call. And we shall see. Maybe a later time they might return it.
Yeah, though I don't think that it was necessary to remove the revival bolts. I think turning them into a scarce ammo type would have been fine because I think it was a cool mechanic. It wouldn't have obsoleted Necromancer completely. Because one, in my games, I've seen more people actually use Necromancer more than the revive bolts because you are occupying your secondary slot with a mini crossbow instead of having, say, a pocket shotgun or a pistol, something you can fan. And if you're running revive bolts completely on the little crossbow, you've cut your ammo capacity in half and you don't have a secondary. You have something that can revive people, but you don't have any like utility alongside it unless you're packing dragon choke or poison bolts alongside it, which then cuts your ammo capacity for revival into 4. Now, if you are packing an ammo box, I suppose that would be a little bit like of a way to restock said ammunition. But if you did turn it into a scarce trait or a scarce ammo type, like Dum Dum has been, I think that would have been a good idea. Like even like a rotating spawn where they would be like, all right, well, we have them popped up here, or it's like, or they're gonna pop up here, or there's a specific compound that they wouldn't even show up on. I'm probably going way too in depth about it, but there were balance changes they absolutely could have done to it. I'm with Horse. They did not need to remove it from the game. They needed to adjust it, yes, but not remove it from the game. Removing it was a bad idea. I think it's jarring, and we've mentioned it to each other before. Floodgate is open. Is Crytek is now kind of saying, hey, though they may not, they probably won't, but hey, we have the capability to just yank this, which means there's a possibility we might just be like, we're going to yank this, and it might be something that the community may love and might have to fight to get put back in the game. Do I think any of this is permanent? No, because I think the revive bullets weren't that big of a problem unless you were dealing with them all the time. I was not. I feel like it was more of a problem in the upper tier of the hunt community. Low tier, I hardly saw them used. People prefer to use secondary explosives. Like I saw more bomb launcher than I saw revive bolts. I saw more bomb lance than I saw revive bolts. Or flipping dualies than revive bolts. It was or basic loadouts. It was astounding how little I saw them after they came out. Like probably like half a month went by and I didn't see them all that much. I haven't seen them more than once in the last 20 games I've played. I've seen them once. So I can't rightfully say they needed to be yoinked, but for a lot of people, I can't exactly justifiably defend them being in the game all the time. I would say scarce. Make them scarce. That's all you needed to do, and it would have been fixed. It wouldn't have been a problem anymore.
Okay, my opinion with the removal, I don't think it's should have happened. I think they should, like, same with Cash's statement, make it scarce because, like, just taking it a little away is nice, but not all the way because, you know, that's a bad thing. If they're taking away to tweak it and then return it back into the game, that is okay in my opinion. However, what I've seen is that, like, what Horse is saying and probably what everyone is talking about, they think they're just removing it completely but just not working on it, which kind of seems like an over adjustment. And I get the player base acts like is like wants this, or they don't really want it, but I caught myself. I don't think removing it entirely was a better decision. I think tweaking it, like adding a timer to it, meaning like if you use it on your teammate and there's like a little timer until you get up, or even like a sound notification of like letting them know that you're coming up. That would be pretty nice for the game. It's like quality of life, and it will give the opposite player a good chance to take down the person. Maybe giving less health, like revival, like that trait, probably will not work on the revival. That seems fair. And all of that, but removing it entirely just seems like a big push. But I understand as the developers, they have no other choice because like gamers as we are, some of us like are very nitpicky. Like we want balance in everything, which is a hint to future episodes by House over here. Basically, we are picky. Like the next update for this could be like a new problem, and now they have to deal with that. There's not really a win-win situation, so removing it just seemed like the final plan for them, and I understand. But it also sucks because that weapon, that ammo type, was actually really good for not only utility but also for people who are shit. What I mean by that is that if you don't have good aim, then like something you can do to support the team is by using a revive bolt. That right there is just enough to not make you a burden, but also make you, very useful. And it's a very good utility because the hand crossbow as a weapon is mainly focused on utility. It's not used for dealing damage. Maybe if you use the firebolt or just regular weapons, but it's mainly used for utility, like having choke bombs or having the poison rounds to kill crows or whatnot. So overall, I would say that the removing of the revive bolt is kind of an overreaction, but I also do understand why they did it. But if they are going to tweak it in future, that would be sweet, and then they bring it back. But however, if this is the final decision of not doing it, then it's very sad for it to happen. So that's my take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like we're on the same page as to like, was it a good idea? No. Did they need to do that? No. Could they have made a million different changes to it? Yes. Did they? No.
All right. And now I'm going to jump in here. I'm not going to do a 10-minute dissertation speech like I did yesterday. Look forward to that video if you want to see my future thoughts on that. But I'll just give a little bit of my piece here. Ultimately, Crytek has, throughout all of Hunt's history, years and years of development, done absolutely everything multiple times that they needed to balance the game. The uppercut is the most nerfed weapon in the game. It's been nerfed multiple times. Death Cheat was an issue. Death Cheat was the most controversial trait of all time. They still brought it back with adjustments and tweaks. Crytek will do everything under the sun to rework, adjust anything in the game. But they removed the revive bolts. They're giving up. They did one single update on them and are removing them from the game. I'm heartbroken. I utilize them quite often as somebody who I have CRPS. I have a doctor's note for being bad at Hunt. So for me to have that extra utility where I could assist my teammates and be less of a dead weight as I normally am, it was very nice. So losing the revive bolts feels bad, and it's the first time they've ever removed something for balance purposes. The list of content that's been removed, not reworked, removed. We had Ursa Mortis and the Shredder removed. They were planned to be removed. They were event-exclusive, temporary things added to the game. That's different. We had the lamp lights on the ends of the guns removed because they were literally useless and were a bait for new players to waste their hunt dollars on. Totally fine with that. They removed generators from compounds. And they removed flash bombs from the loot pool. They didn't remove them from the game. See, this is another thing. The flash bombs, they nerfed them into oblivion because they were absolutely oppressive, right? People complained when they got flash bombs out of toolboxes because it wasted their time. They're so bad, right? But instead of removing them from the game, they removed them from the loot pool and let you still buy them from the shop if you want them. There were so many options. Scarce ammo is an available thing for them. They could have made it so that the revive bolts would have a timer if you shot somebody with them. It could have made a really loud noise to notify everybody that it was happening. Tons of different things, and unfortunately, they're just getting removed. Hopefully, and they specifically did not say they were removing it for balance purposes, like to bring it back later, I should say. They did not say they were removing it while they adjusted. They just said, difficult decision. Sorry we had to do it. We're removing them from the game. I don't think they're going to come back. Maybe one day. But ultimately, now that Crytek's dropping the nuke on that, even though I don't think they'll do it, for all of future, in all of Hunt's balancing, it is now possible to remove something from the game if it cannot be balanced. This is the first time they've ever done this, and it is now an option. So you're going to hear people bitch. You're going to hear people talk about it. Anytime something is a little too strong, you're going to hear tons of people saying, hey, remove it from the game, like revive bolts. Will Crytek listen? Probably not, but it is now an option. So that is a fear. You might lose your favorite thing next year. Who the fuck knows? The likelihood's low, but it is now possible. So look forward to that video coming out soon. If you enjoyed the preview, I'm going to put here in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be really happy with that video. So that is all the piece that we have on the revive bolts. So please, this is a very contentious topic, so go to the comments and let us know how you feel about it. Oh, before I forget, I did, because I'm very biased. I'll admit that. I'm very biased on the revive bolts because I love using them myself, and I never found them to be too abusable or too strong. However, I did run a poll on my channel, specifically because I wanted to be less biased and get everybody's opinions on it. I ran a poll and, let's see, cool, 247 votes. 53% of people said that they don't want revive bolts to ever come back. 4% said to bring them back in their current state. 29% said to rework and adjust them instead of removing them. And 14% of people did not care. So 34%, sorry, basic fucking math, horse, 33% of 247 people wanted them to stay in the game. If obviously this isn't the entire Hunt population, but that is, even if you just equated that to, just for the sake of argument, the current player numbers of Hunt Showdown. Hunt Showdown Steam charts. Blah, blah, blah. 24-hour peak, about 22K. That's thousands of players that want the revive bolts to still be in the game. I understand that's still a shit ton of people saying they don't want them, but that's a lot of people saying they do. I think you could have done something other than remove them, but hey, what do I know, and what can I say? Look forward to that video. Video games have existed since the creation of Tennis for Two by William Higginbottom in the year 1958. And 2 decades later, the first online multiplayer game, Multi-User Dungeon, hit dial-up like a storm in 1978. Since the inception of multiplayer connectivity in video games, our concerns have brushed well beyond the issue of bandwidth, peer-to-peer stability, and the availability of an expensive personal computer in your home. Nowadays, the main concern of these avid multiplayer gamers is the issue of balance, a concept as old as time. Two objects of equal weight on opposite sides of a suspended board, holding it completely still with a precise distribution of weight. This is balance in the literal sense, but for gamers it takes on a much more broad definition. For us, balance is how much true damage a dairy assault needs to do for it to be considered fair. Balance is which guns are blessed with the coveted one-shot kill to the body in any tactical shooter. Balance is how much card advantage one can amass in a card game, or how cheap an item is to purchase from the shop, or how far attackers. But we will move on. There was a topic we had yesterday that I'm really happy to talk about again because I do want people to actually hear this. Budget loadouts. I want to hear what your guys' go-to budget loadout is. Anybody could start.
Budget loadouts, baby! Woo!
Okay, before we continue, do you guys want to talk about the event, like last event, or are we skipping that? Because we did talk about it a lot.
Wait, what are we talking? Sorry, fucking yesterday's a blur for me.
Okay,
what murder circus? Circus.
I forgot. Holy shit, I forgot about that.
Last event.
Holy fuck! Before we do budget loadouts, let's talk about last event, guys. So thank you for the reminder. The murder circus, everybody's favorite or not favorite event. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people loved it. There was a lot of things to like or dislike about it. But how do you guys feel about the murder circus?
Oh boy.
I can go. One thing for certain, I'll say the positives first, because there can be negatives, but also can be positives. First, I love the theme of the event. I love the circus in the middle. I love the bear enemy. I forgot his name, but he's very cool. Ursa Mortis, thank you. Yeah, he's very unique. I do love The whole bleeding thing. If you're bleeding, he knows where you are. It's kind of the same thing as Meathead. Oh, his roar attack is cool. The foreign little sticks, those are annoying but also fun to use. The balloons make me happy, but also running into them is funny as hell. Saw Blade, yes, it was very overpowered, but also it was a very nice addition to the game. I don't know why they removed it, and I hope that they do bring it in the future, like it may be in future events. And of course, Fast Fingers existing, which is also pretty cool, and some of the skins. Now, speaking of the skins, Post Malone being in the game is cool. It's nice, and a few skins for him would be nice. However, what I've seen is that most of the cosmetics always have PM on it. The Sparks Pistol Silencer variant has a whole lot of PMs. I think there's about at least either 16 or 12. It's around that number, but that's how much it is. And it's just way too much because basically it just felt like this whole event was like his event. It's not going to be called the Murder Circus event. It's going to be called the Post Malone event. Like, which is kind of nice, but also kind of not. But basically, the event felt like his face was everywhere. It was like a billboard. Every direction you looked, his face was there. And that ad for Game Awards was not a right place to go for. It is Hunt's biggest event, kinda, but it wasn't their biggest in numbers, which is one thing. Because I think Tide of Corruption was the most because of Raja, right?
Tide of
If I'm not
Shadows.
mistaken. Yeah, Tide of Shadows. Thank you. Sorry, I was like gone for like 2 years or like 3 years when I was out. But yeah, it wasn't really big in numbers. That was one thing. Again, the whole ad. I think it was at least 1 million, as most people were joking around about it. Which, if it was, then Crytek, why? Why would you do that? But yeah, that's basically most of it. It just felt like a billboard, like all over the place. But overall, the gameplay was fun and unique, and the packs were nice. Blademancer, in that state, was a pain in the ass. Not liking getting shot an arrow and just taking it was a pain. The other tools was also nice. Poltergeist was really fun to use. Sometimes I scared my friends with it. That was pretty funny sometimes. So yeah, and also I like that the packs until they realized about what you can do with Blademancer. Like all of them were basically all utilities, which I love. There was no really good ones. However, for this new event form, the Witch, I think the most picked would probably be Gunslinger for obvious reasons. You get to carry 2 large weapons on your back.
You mean Gunrunner?
Gunrunner, yeah, okay. Jesus Christ. This is all up in my head. I'm taking bits and pieces like a mashed potato. So yeah.
That sounds good.
It does sound good. I want some mashed potatoes.
Continue,
But
please.
yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, the new event packs from this one, I feel like Post Malone's packs were better because they were all mainly utility focused, while the new ones are kinda. There's only one that's more gameplay focused, and that's probably the one that's gonna be the most picked. And yeah, that's what I got. So whoever wants to speak their mind, please do.
Do you want to go but next?
Yeah, before I give you the talking stick, and it'll take like next 10 minutes off.
All right, you go for it, dude. I will. I'm no problem.
Honestly, I'll say this much: the murder circuit was murder circuit. Oh my god,
Burger Circus.
The murder
Circus
was great. I actually loved it. However, I have a couple gripes with it. Firstly, I did not mind that Post Malone was the face of the circus. I personally didn't care. I did care, however, how imbalanced it felt a lot of times, especially because of Blademancer and we're gonna go full circle on this, but because of the fucking Crag, oh my god, I hate seeing the Crag, and I hate that the entire fucking Post Malone circus event for me was how many times am I gonna face Crag, and how many times am I gonna get a normal fucking match? Secondly, I really disliked Blademancer. I did not like the fact that being shot by Blademancer meant you're gonna stand there and you're gonna accept your fate. So that sucks. And most of the time, I just felt that if you didn't take Blademancer, you were intentionally just making it worse for yourself. Even though Poltergeist is the most fun trait in the game that I've ever had the pleasure of using, and I absolutely loved it. I hated that I was always at a disadvantage because let's say you're playing normally, and then this guy's dualies and he's crack shot. What are you gonna do when he's more accurate than you aiming down sights because RNGesus is on his side? That's what I didn't like about the event. It was just the sheer imbalance in traits. It ruined the event for me quite significantly, and I needed to take a break at the end. However, overall, I'd say it was a fine event. Definitely not the best, but neither was the worst. Cash, my boy, it's your
Okay.
turn.
Is it my turn? Oh, well, thank you. I get the talking stick. Yeet. I loved it. I loved the event. It was a lot of fun. Me and some friends had been hyping each other up about like we're gonna play at the murder circuits. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun. And yeah, it's there were some things that absolutely did make it a bit harder to enjoy. And I agree. Blademancer was a bit of a curse where I didn't have to put up with it as much as I was using it because I myself was like, I have a reason to use the bow now. I'm flipping hitting people with it, and I'm like, oh, I hit him in the shoulder. Guess what? I'm ripping it out. He's dead. Steel bolted crossbow. Most of the time you launch those suckers across the map, you never find them again. You were able to suck them back. It's like, all right, I can actually use the steel bolts, which they put a scope on the crossbow. That was kind of the whole deal. It was, it was a nice change. Do I agree with Alex on the broken crag? Yes, I do. The crag was very overwhelmingly like, wow, they gave it a skin, they gave it a silencer. It's freaking Post Malone's favorite gun. There are going to be people that'll be using it just because it's his favorite gun, and the skin looks the best of all the skins we got. And it was a bit much. The other stuff, though, I thought the tent moving was great. I thought Ursa Mortis was amazing. I liked the saw blade launcher before they made it all of your like worth all of the points imaginable. It's like, all right, there's no point in going after it if you could just like, I'd rather go get money. I'd rather spend my upgrade points either on the 5-field machine or get a couple cash registers and come out with more money than I had going in. It was nice. There were things that they changed I don't think needed to be changed. Blademancer needed to be nerfed. Like at the least the damage needed to be halved on the pullout. And they basically did change that. It no longer does damage when you pull it out. You still get your projectile back, but you got to be more accurate. You can't just like yeet an arrow or a knife or something at somebody and expect to be like, all right, I'm going to rip it out. Even though they're behind cover, they're going to die. It's just like, that's not how the game works anymore. Overall view, I think it was a great event. Will Crytek be able to top it? It's going to take a bit to top that, which I'm not so sure they're going to get something that as big of something they put together. It may not have been the most popular. I think Horse mentioned it at one point. It wasn't the most popular. Tide of Shadows was way more popular. But do I think that the same amount of hype can be achieved with a player count? Absolutely. I think we can absolutely outdo the Murder Circus. The introduction of a new boss or a brand spanking new map like Gulch and a whole new place to explore, absolutely that'll breathe life into the player base. I think it'll be great. Anyway, loved Murder Circus. Was there a lot of Post Malone? Yes. Did it bother me? No. Did I like most of the weapons? Yes. Was the crag broken? Yes. Was Blademancer broken? Yes. Did I still love all of it? Yes, because I was using it. And I didn't care. It was like, I'm using the fun stuff. I'm using the fun stuff and no one can stop me. And that about sums up my view of the Post Malone event. I'm looking forward to the next few events that we're getting because anytime an event happens, I'm like, I have a chance to make money.
Hell yeah. I suppose I'll jump in now. So the circus ultimately, I'll talk a little bit about the surrounding circumstances. It was supposed to be Crytek's call to arms. It was going to be the fixer-upper for Hunt. Hunt was hemorrhaging money. They had too many employees. The circus was supposed to be the only way to make Hunt Showdown mainstream. It did not work. It did not have more player numbers than Tide of Shadows did with less effort the year prior. The Murder Circus, unfortunately, involved other things such as $1 million being wasted on a Game Awards ad that was, frankly, just not targeted at the right audience. Ultimately, I do think the circus, while very flawed in a lot of ways, still had the heart in it that it normally does for an event. They did go all out. They really did. We got a roaming unique compound. We got new stuff for guns, like usual. We didn't get traits, we got troops. We didn't get traits. We didn't get packs, we got troops. A whole new system for that, slightly. We got a new temporary special AI. We got a temporary new special weapon that you could get with pledge marks. They had so much unique, fundamentally unique things in the circus, and it was a lot of fun. A freak show element could have really, really worked in Hunt's world. Hunt is a grungy, disgusting world where horrible things happen. A freak show circus event could have gone over really well. Unfortunately, this was Post Malone's circus event. I have nothing against Post Malone. I love his music, and I thought that his skins were fine. They look really nice. It's just marketing the entire thing around Post Malone, a bit of an L, because now nobody's going to remember that as the Murder Circus in Hunt Showdown. They're going to remember that as the Post Malone event. So, infinite potential, and it shows that given the money and the time, Crytek can make really exciting events with a ton of new crazy shit happening. Are we ever going to get an event of this caliber again? Probably fucking not. They probably lost money on this, if I'm being honest, because they had to lay off 50% of the employees after this event came out and didn't smash records like they hoped. So, will we ever get an event like the circus again? Probably not, in my humble opinion. Would it be cool? Fuck yeah. I loved the circus at the beginning. I got pretty tired of it pretty fucking quickly. That's my synopsis of it. I'd give it like a B if I was going to stick it on a fucking letter tier list. It'd be in the Bs. For the record, Tide of Shadows, instant S tier. Blow me if you disagree. All right.
I happen to agree with it. I liked Tide of Shadows. Raja was awesome.
Good.
I want to see her more.
Funny thing is, because I wasn't a part of that whole event, I have not experienced Raja yet at all. I have not experienced him.
Her spawn has been tweaked to like hardly appear at all. Like she appears in Lost and Delta more than the actual compound she was supposed to be in.
I had to lose one match, and there was already people fighting her. I was pissed off.
One day, buddy. One day you'll get to fight her. She's cool.
Yeah, one day. I really hope. One thing that I'll probably say in the shoe box moment is that I really wish they would add more of the boss enemies to like different compounds, like the emulator boss, to like the bayou and all the other stuff. And same with Raja when she can be in Gulch.
Just rotate the bosses for crying out loud.
Mammoth Skulch. That would be nice. That would be really nice because, all that shit. Also, bring back the old event stuff, like the raining and also the Inferno type shit. Like, I haven't experienced that either.
Hard Rain made being able to sneak up on a compound at a decent pace actually easier.
Yeah.
Because it covered your footsteps.
And I get why people didn't like it because, like, it requires sound to hear this game, which good. Yeah, because Hana has a very fantastic sound system.
Learn to adapt.
But it's also nice because as we're in our character's shoes and we have one life. There is a trailer that I would recommend you guys watching what Hunt has. It's called Bloodline. It is a very unique and cool trailer. And basically, as you keep on dying, you get better and better. And it's the same thing with sound. So technically, when our hunters do die, they're dead canonically. They just get brought back. So I find it very kind of cool, about that, all that, yeah.
Oh boy.
So, yeah.
Budget loadout time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! God, I wish you guys could have seen the first recording. I really do. It had a lot of good energy in it, and we talked so much more about stuff. But it's just when you got to say the same fucking thing again, it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just nice because we were all talking about the same game we all enjoy. It's just nice. It's also good to talk to people. Like
Right.
even doing this again, I am still having fun. I'm not bored talking about the same stuff.
Oh
No.
yeah, absolutely.
So everybody in the comments just give these guys some love because we had to organize a second podcast. Remember that. We 2 hours just shit on down the drain. We had to organize a second podcast. So give these guys some love in the comments and some support. But let's continue on to our budget loadout. So everybody has one because at some point you're gonna prestige, you're gonna be broke as shit, you're gonna go spend $30 billion in fucking Bounty Clash, losing your money with nitros. There's so many ways to waste your money in Hunt Showdown, especially when you're not one of the best players. So when you're low on funds, what is your budget loadout? Anybody can start.
I'm going in naked. No,
of course you are.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. I just wanted to get that joke out.
My budget loadout is, well, I have a few, but I'll say like the two main ones is Springfield Marksman, if I can unlock that variant as soon as possible with the baseball bat. I love the Springfield, and it's always been a reliable choice, and it's cheap. And the baseball bat is just funny. I like mailing people. The second loader, more or less, I choose more often is the old reliable, Spectre carbine plus baseball bat. I really love the Spectre carbine FMJ, and I will die on the hill loving FMJ. But yeah, those are mainly the two main budget loaders I run. After that, it's no longer budgetary. You may now go down the line, Cam.
Hey! Okay. I myself do enjoy a good budget loadout because, yes, I have had money economy issues when it comes to Hunt Showdown because I dump a lot of specific loadouts. I'll dump way too much money. In between events, it gets really hard because there aren't any cash registers on the map to kind of get that cash back. However, I do find myself always falling back on very specific loadouts. I never say no to bringing a bow. I think the bow's great. The range that it has and the kill potential it has is very, very nice. It takes a lot of skill to aim. Even without crack shot, I like dualies. I have found myself performing fairly well with random ass sets of dualies. I'll bring the Nagant pistols, the base Nagants, or the Caldwell conversions. I think they're fun. I don't know why I do good with them. They have no reason to be good without crack shot, but they're still fun to use. And on the other end of the spectrum, I think just a basic lever action. So the Vandal 73 or whatever, Henry lever action, whatever you want to call it, it's had different names. I think a basic Vandal or a silenced Vandal is fun to use, with a secondary accompanied by either the officer pistol or the silenced Nagant with fanning. I think any of that is it's a cheap loadout as long as you understand how the peaking system works. If you tag somebody in the chest, you just did 100 plus damage, so it's 110 damage. All you have to do now is either follow up to the chest or hit them with your pistol a couple of times or just rush them. Or if you want, you can pack a lever action, snag Quartermaster, and grab a Romero. Now, granted, that's legendary hunters. If you rolled those perks and you got them, that's those the loadouts. But basic stuff, off the bat, lever action, basic pistol. Very cheap lever action, basic pistol, small ammo. If you want to get zesty with it, I don't think the Centennial is really all that budgety. But Centennial, Scottfield, I think that's good too. Or just, there's a lot of budget stuff I can do. There's a lot of stupid stuff that I've done. But dualies, bow, basic Vandal, silenced pistol, very easy stuff to go with. I find them to be great fallbacks. The Romero is a fantastic shotgun. I'm probably one of the few people that still uses the Alamo as much as I do, because it's not a very common shotgun because people like to swap their ammo types out. That's all I've got. That's my basic lever, shotgun, basic shotgun, basic pistol, silence pistol, bow and dual pistols. It's great. It's fun. I'm gonna pass the mic down to Plate.
Yeah, thank you. For me, my budget loadout, it varies. One budget loadout that I go is the classics, so I like to go with the conversion with maybe a Romero shotgun, or a Ranger. Just classic builds. Or there was this one build which I got was I was popping off for some reason. It was a combat axe with a Verletti. That was pretty fun to use because Verletti is one of my favorite weapons to use. It's also pretty cheap as a weapon. Not as cheap as the Ranger, but it's still cheap nonetheless. And it is a very fun weapon to use. So that would be kind of my second one. And then the third being survival, having a bow and arrow or having a crossbow. Those weapons are pretty fun to use. So having them, they're pretty cheap as well. And one thing I would like to try, which I think some of us have tried this before, is just going with no weapons and just finding weapons in the world. Bring at least a med kit and a melee weapon, and then just try to find a weapon, and it's very fun.
Or bring both Derringers.
Yeah, another beautiful option. But yeah, it's all pretty fun in games. It's all nice, and basically that's mainly it. Oh yeah, also the little, I think Scottfield is nice to use just randomly. That's also pretty nice. So yeah, that's basically what I have. I don't really have much better loadouts.
Oh yeah, my go-to was always the Springfield, but with Dum Dum, of course. Cheap, effective, and you can almost kill somebody in one hit, especially if they don't have time to heal. But now that since it was, I would always take my Hunter. I would get rid of all my traits and get Doctor, of course. But now there's Fast Fingers, so now it's the same fucking thing. Springfield with Dum Dum, but with Fast Fingers instead of Doctor to start out, and I just run it down. You don't even need a secondary. If you miss, you get to talk to God. That's all it is. That's my budget loadout. You can't stop me. A knuckle knife.
You missed. You get to talk to God.
like a Springfield with Dum Dum, a knife, and a medkit, baby. That's it. I'm in there like swimwear. That is my budget loadout every time.
If you miss your shot, you will die. But who cares?
You will die.
You will die if you fail. But it's okay.
This game, Springfield shot.
Yeah,
gun backfires on him.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And one final thing. This is off topic, but Hunt, as most 6 of our players might disagree on, but whatever. This game is very fun if you just switch off your brain. It's a generally fun time, and if you try it once or twice, it'll feel nice. If it pisses you off, take a break. It's good, but all in all, video games are meant for fun. They're not meant to just stress you out.
The goofier you play a game, usually the more fun it is. If you try something silly like, look, guys, I brought a China Lake and a 12 gauge. This is going to be fun. And then you accidentally blow yourself up because your satchel charge hit a barrel that you were standing too close to. It's like, well, this is my life now, but man, was that funny because I don't care.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Any game could be made fun when you just don't think too much about it. I feel like gaming has made so much progression that it's like everybody takes it so seriously. I mean, we've got kids juicing themselves half our age and younger than you, by the way, Plate, younger than you, that are juicing themselves on Adderall or ADHD medication to up freaking taking specific cold medicine just to perk their brain up to play Call of Duty better. It doesn't need to be that intense. It's you're here to play a casual game. Not everything has to be freaking LCS level freaking I'm taking this to worlds kind of deal when it comes to professional gaming anymore. It's you're here to play a good game with your friends and actually have a decent time with the community. Not lose your mind he got me again. He's running backwards at the speed of light. Why? Mostly a COD problem. Hunt problems is less yo, why did he bring an aftermath into Clash?
For me, if you want to be competitive with this game, that's okay, but have fun here and there. like if you want to win, that's cool. But like have a match where like, you know what? I was trying too much. Let's just have fun with something. Sure, you might die, but hey, it's you're having fun. That's all that matters. That was very off topic, but I wanted to bring that out.
No, you're
I mean,
fine.
I thought it was good.
No, you're
Okay.
fine.
It was
Traditionally,
relevant.
on Between the Hunt, I always give, because again, the point of this is for people in the community to speak their hearts. So I want everybody in here. You get a soapbox moment. Anything you think we missed, anything you specifically wanted to talk about that you're saying for this, whatever you want to say. Here's your chance to bring it up so we can talk about it.
Anything, like it could be an idea for the game and so on.
Sure, fuck it, whatever you want. It's your soapbox.
You know what? You know what I would love to see in Hunt? Now I'm gonna sound crazy for this. As much as I love seeing the new unique monsters we get, most of them trying to kill you, I would love to see a monster that tries to not kill you, but try to make noise around you. A monster that, if it spots you, will linger in a 50-meter radius, trying to basically cause noise traps. I know this sounds very annoying to deal with. I would feel like there would be a very simple way to also deal with it. But I think it would be unique to see something more, less trying to hurt you, but more trying to, what's the word for it? Trying to inconvenience you.
Sabotage, I would say.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word I'm searching for. Thank you. Sabotage you. Or hell, even a monster that tries to steal items on the ground, like world weapons and so on. But I think that's maybe too annoying to deal with, and I can definitely understand that was probably a dumb thought, but I would love to see something less trying to kill you, more trying to just reveal your position in a more interesting manner than just a simple zombie or hive or, so on.
I think mixing up the mobs would be nice. I think a new mob here and there, or even just a new I've had someone suggest this to me before. It was like a roaming boss that kind of walked back and forth between a compound or two on a pathway that he kind of just roamed, and much like Hellborn does, it would be like, oh, he sees a hunter, and now we talked about it on the last attempt at the podcast. A boss that would distract you. He would constantly make noise and disrupt kind of like the team fight you were in. He'd be like, "Yo, there's a thing over there. Wait, is that a team or is it a is it the boss that's supposed to be a pain in the butt?" That would be something that, I mean, one, it would be cool to like give the third partiers something to deal with instead of being able to, like, all right, we're gonna wait for those two to start fighting and just blindside them. But then it was a trap. Now everybody kind of knows where you is. Your plan is foiled because the game is now making things difficult. Like I think that would be cool. I think more environment interaction would be very, very cool. I mean, we had Ursa Mortis in the circus. We had the little vine traps that we'd step on in the circus. That was, people kind of forgot about that they were there when you stepped on it. Why am I bleeding? Oh, I stepped on a thorn. I think more interactive stuff like that would actually be very cool. I think it'd be fun because it's like you're adding some lethality to the environment outside of explosive barrels, water devils, and leeches. Like, why not make the compound come alive a little bit more? If not more than one.
Is that
I don't really have anything else to add to it. Yeah, I'm for once drawing a blank on the talking stick right now.
yeah.
I got
Yeah, a little throwback to last time's podcast. We were too nice to each other that we were asking each other, like, "Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go next?" Oh man, yeah. Horse was a little mad. Well, not like mad, but like he was turning insane. I was doing that. But yeah, oh, that's nice. Anyway,
I mean, I would say long live Hunt, and here's to hoping that they improve a bunch of things. Like I intend to keep playing the game. I don't know about you guys, how much longer you'll be playing it, but I intend to play it until it no longer is like, yeah, no, they've either ruined it or they don't. Like, if it's a game, I'll be able to, because I think I've played a game. I don't know how many of you know of the game League of Legends. I know Horse knows it, but
Ugh.
it's
Oh my god, yeah. Did you know the towers collapsed? Of course we do.
okay.
Oh
Not the point to get off topic, but I've played that game for 12 years. Since it dropped, I've played for a long time. If Hunt has the ability to keep things fresh and going for 12 years, I will be with it every step of the way. I will continue to play it. I think it has the potential to do that if they play their cards right. I hope they have the potential to do that.
Yeah, this game has a lot of potential as it is. It's such a beautiful game, nice atmosphere, amazing lore. It's just Crytek, don't fuck it up. We're here for you for the end, but just don't mess things up. And I know you won't.
I have a strong.
I hope. I'm
strong
praying.
Belief. I have a strong belief Crytek is going to backtrack on some of the things and they're going to improve the game. I think this event is going to be a good step forward for the game, and I'm honestly hoping for the best forward with Hunt.
Yeah. I'll start with my shoebox. One thing, same thing with Alex's idea, like an enemy that makes noise, but it's like a banshee. So like she will make noise if you're nearby. Like it's a stationary, and once she hears you, she'll do a loud screech, and then start like attacking you. So it's kind of like the same attack as a like humiliator, but it's basically an enemy that swipes at you. More bosses. We're getting a lot more bosses, which is nice. And also, one thing I like is that some hunters are also like they're connected to a boss target. Like, for instance, I'll send one that I made. I call her the like Black Widow, and it's basically a character that is connected to the spider. So like she's been tweaked because of that character. So I don't know if you want to
cool.
share that at all with the audience,
Yeah,
but
sure,
it's a
of course.
yeah, she's absolutely beautiful. I'm very proud. That's one of my hobbies, by the way. I love making like characters like that. Like a couple days ago, if you know Warhammer, I made a Adeptus Mechanicus. That was pretty fun to do. So yeah, so something like that. And also, stay tuned. That is going to be one of my ideas for the writers thing. So if you are interested in that, I guess if you're part of that, you get to see a little sneak peek. Anyway, I guess that's basically mine. Just in general, new enemies is nice, and more hunters that are connected with bosses.
Hell yeah. My soapbox is to write a fucking book, Crytek. As always, write some goddamn books, art books, lore books, whatever the fuck you paid $1 million for a Game Awards ad that nobody cared about. Take a fraction of that money and hire some writers, get some goddamn words to paper, and I will buy them. That's it. That's
Also,
it
another shoebox. Bring those lore audio recordings back, please, Crytek, please. I love hearing them. That was actually the first time I read them in the Scorched Earth, and I was very happy. And that was the last time I saw it, so please, give me back lore. I need
Fuck
it.
yeah. Perfect. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to say, or that they think we missed, or anything?
Nah, nothing on my mind. My mind is fried.
Yeah, our boy Alex is over
Yeah,
here. He's
she'll
about
let
to
you
fall
know,
onto the
Alex.
floor.
No. I told you not to tell him. I told you not to
Well,
tell
I'm
him.
sorry, but we care about you. He's near the pass out point.
No, you're totally fine. I'm fried myself. So, everybody, thank you for watching part 2 of our fucking podcast. The podcast from hell. We lost the footage. We lost 2 hours of recording. I had to fucking leave halfway through this recording and come back. There's, you name it, it's happened. I wouldn't be surprised if I had a disease now. But these wonderful people did join me today for this awesome podcast, and I would love if there's any place that the folks in the comments can support you guys. Where can they find you? If there isn't a place,
In hell.
it's fine.
Uh, I just exist on Discord. That's all. That's the only place I exist on. Yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
as far as social media, I mean, I occasionally will zoom on Twitter, but I don't really have the link memorized. I'm not
Nice.
active on that, so I'm mostly on Discord. I play Hunt a lot. I play Monster Hunter a lot. This is my first time actually being on a podcast that's going on YouTube, so I'm hyped. But yeah,
Me and you
no real way
together,
to
brother.
no really way to track the Cash Man, other than hey, if you want to play sometime, I'm in the Hunt Discord as well as Horse's Discord. So if you want to play,
Join the
shoot me a message, and I'm
lodge.
like, join Hunter's Lodge for God's sake.
Get
Join
over
Hunter's Lodge.
here.
Join
Get
here.
over
It's
here.
actually really nice.
Join
Oh,
Hunter's Lodge. It's a
Everyone
fun
here
time.
is actually never an asshole, and I'm very happy they are.
It's very
Yeah.
it's pretty pleasant in there most of the time. It's unironically, especially if you're a newer hunter, great place for new hunters. Highly recommended. We're always supportive and trying to teach people. So, links always
the host
below.
of the server is a 3-star. He's
You're among
just-
friends. I'm terrible at the game.
he's got a
Just don't
crippling
go- okay,
doctor's note to be bad at Hunt.
Just don't go to Reddit. That is the worst place to go to.
No,
Find
no,
space.
Do not go to Reddit.
I go there
Oh.
frequently, and it's not a fun experience.
It's not a good place to be.
Perfect. Plate, is there anywhere you want people to find you, or do you want them to not find you?
Well, I think Discord is fine.
If I
Hell
find
yeah.
somebody in my closet, you might get some 12 gauge to the mouth, but I prefer that not happen.
Mainly, I do have other social medias, but mainly Discord is the best
Based.
one. Like most of Instagram is my private account. It is just me and my friends goofing off, so you get to see my handsome face. But I would rather not share that because personal matters.
Of course.
It is, yeah. So it's very nice. But however, Discord is always an option. You can friend me if you would like to. It is Plates, your favorite kitchen utensil. Mainly that. I'm part of the Lodge, which is very fun, as I said. Also, unfortunately, I won't be able to play with you because I'm one of the few console players, and there's no crossplay. The only crossplay that is available is Xbox, but still, there's no option for me to invite. So any PlayStationers, you can play with me. But other than that, that's basically it.
Unironically, if you're also a console player, please still hop in the lodge. We do have a way to tag yourself with your platform you play on, and we have some console people in there that try to coordinate. So you're not alone. It's
You are not alone. You will never be alone.
Yeah.
But for now,
It's just-
hunters. No, go ahead, please.
It's just that as a console player, I get told that, oh yeah, you're a 4 MMR? Yeah. So are you a 2 MMR in that case? Well, fuck off.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I'm doing my best. 6 MMR console is a pain in the ass.
Well, but for now, hunters, that will be all. Support. Thank you to the members and the patrons. As always, you guys are making a cripple's dreams come true with your $1 a month or whatever the fuck some of you pay. Thanks everybody for watching this, whatever the fuck this podcast was.
This Lollapalooza that is this podcast.
Everything and everything.
This absolute dumpster fire.
If you somehow recovered a second file, make it like a bloopers video.
Listen, I deleted it. I'm not. I cannot uncorrupt that shit. I don't want 7 gigabytes of corrupted data sitting in my.
All that
footage
funny
folder.
content is gone.
Yeah,
It's still in my
he'd be sitting at
recycling
his-
bin, but I might fuck around with it, but I truly don't think there's any saving it. But regardless, I don't want to be here till 9 p.m. So everybody in the audience who is totally in the audience right now, subscribe. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming to Between the Hunt today, and we'll see you soon. Stay blessed.
Love ya.
Hey.